Eleanor Murky, Merck Resource on the AWE Network. Gratitude Conversation. Today's conversation is the four A's of practicing gratitude. You know, we hear so much about gratitude and everything, being grateful, but gratitude became a really big thing to people in their mind, spirit, activities, and conversation, especially when we were in the pandemic or coming out of the pandemic. People begin to really think about and appreciate their status and how they had been protected, how they have been blessed. And even those who were challenged during the period of the pandemic. You know, 2 years was an awful long time to be shut up, to be restricted, and have things change on us. You know, when you think about it, the whole world shut down for a moment, in fact, better than a year. So, as a result, we talk so much more about gratitude, practicing gratitude on a day to day basis, or how to practice gratitude. We've seen studies showing that gratitude really affects our mental, our physical, and our spiritual health. Some researchers have shown that gratitude really do change your attitude. It changes even your mind functioning. That we find that when you're using gratitude, thinking gratitude, it changes your system. It boosts your endorphins. It boosts your immune system. You know, it helps you with your different moods, and it is really a good thing that we consciously practice gratitude. And I know I've spoken before about the four A's of gratitude because a lot of times in situations, people ask you, okay, gratitude, do I go around saying thank you, thank you, thank you? Or what are some of the things that I do that I can do when you tell me to practice gratitude daily? And a couple of things I'm going to share with you. But before I get started, I always want to remind you that we have a free tool for you if you're interested in journaling. We have a Getting Started with Gratitude Journaling download for you. Just go to CoreySCotton.com. CoreySCotton.com and get your free starting with gratitude journaling. That's one of the things that you can do to practice your gratitude is through journaling. And what we're offering in our free download is that you do not have to sit and try to write a volume about your gratitude, what you're grateful for. Just pick one thing out of the day that you are grateful for and write about 5 sentences or 5 comments about it, and that'll get you started on one aspect of gratitude, practicing your gratitude. You can also use a slip of paper at work, wherever you are, and write down something that you're grateful for. Start thinking about the things in your life that you're grateful for. Another idea in practicing gratitude is to have a little notebook um, beside you. Now, this is a little different from the journaling. It can turn into journaling, but this is a gratitude moment when you are doing whatever and something comes to your mind that you are grateful for, that sort of gave a smile, made a smile come to your face. You felt good about it. Write it down if you're in a position to do that, or whenever you can. But these are the spontaneous moments of gratitude when you feel gratitude or feel grateful about something. But what I want to talk about today, if you want to take attention or notes, is again the four A's of practicing gratitude. And they are the four A's that you'll hear or see maybe in different articles. It's appreciation, approval, admiration, and what did we say? Admiration and attention. I'm going to say those again: appreciation, approval, admiration, and attention. When we talk about those four aspects, the four A's of practicing gratitude, mostly we're talking about how we interact with people. How do you show appreciation to people that is a part of your gratitude activity? Approval, what are you doing in approval? Admiration and attention. But today in our conversation, we want to look at ourselves. When we talk about gratitude, share gratitude, and all these different conversations, how often do we think about us? Where, gratitude, gratefulness for ourselves and who we are and what we have to share. My friend would say, marinate on that for a minute. You, what do you appreciate about you? What's your approval level for you? What do you admire about you? And what do you give attention to? I believe that we must take time in all of our gratitude practices in your daily, whether you do this every day, but at least in your process of gratitude and practicing gratitude. One very big point in practicing gratitude, we know, is our thank you. How you use the word thank you as many times as possible in a day's activity. Thank you. So in our four A's, we're going to talk first about appreciation. How do you appreciate yourself? How often have you ever said to yourself, thank you? If you remember something that you've been searching around the house for, the office, or something you think you may have dropped in your car, and you have been frantically looking, or it's been a time that you have been searching for this particular item. And when you find it, thank you. You're grateful that you found it. An idea may have come to you, or something within your family, something within some relationship, or something that you um, have done that you appreciate. It might have been something that you've just done for yourself that you appreciated that. So you acknowledge that appreciation to yourself for what you've done, or whatever the situation is. And then it's the same thing to someone else, showing appreciation. The key here is how you show appreciation. And I'm saying start with you. Appreciate you. Everything that I'm talking about in these 4 A's today will begin with you. I have a friend who's, you'll hear her here on AWE on Dr. C, says it all begins and ends with you. Simply, life begins and ends with you. As you practice gratitude, whatever you put into gratitude begins and ends with you. Who you practice with, yourself, your family, your friends, your coworkers. It all begins and ends with you. So appreciation, appreciating yourself, appreciating what you do, appreciating what you contribute to those around you, like your family, your community, your work, all of those begins, as we talk about appreciation, begins with you. Because before you do anything else, you must appreciate who you are, what it is, and the outcomes. Even in the job, appreciating the fact that you are there. So make a note of that on appreciation. Approval. Oh man, I know so many of you out there have a problem with approval. You know, approving yourself, being approved of who you are, approval of how you look. You know, how many times do we criticize ourselves? I think it's even unconscious when we complain about how our hair look, how our face, how our outfit. We complain about something at home. Oh, I need to paint this old thing or whatever. Coming on, we just have a problem with giving approval, and especially to ourselves. We have this, I think, a old phobia that we don't appreciate or show approval to ourselves. But we must approve everything we do, even when we have some, we always have something that we think need improving, but you don't have to put it down. You still can have an approval of something about you, and a lot of things. I'm just saying, include you in the mix of approval. And we have admiration. How many people and things you admire? There are so many people in our environment, in our world, that we approve and have such admiration for. We idolize them almost. Like uh, a leader, performer, clergy. They're, someone you love. You have this great admiration for. Again, in your practice of gratitude, how much do you admire yourself? How much do you give yourself permission to compliment you and to compliment you? So these steps of practicing gratitude, they're not really that difficult if you think about them. How we have to use them on ourselves as we do with others. So, thinking about that, having admiration for yourself, showing yourself approval. And then, like, again, my friend would say, if there's nobody else but you can look in the mirror and see that person in the mirror and say, "Oh my goodness, I admire you so much. You're so important um, in my life, in my world, and in my fears." and think of things to compliment yourself for. But again, this is practicing gratitude. It's not the grandiose thing, but it's the little things. And we'll bring you on a regular basis these little tips, like the 4 A's. Our final A in our list of appreciation, approval, admiration is attention. How much attention do you give yourself? How do you show yourself that you care? Taking self care is giving yourself attention. Listening to your internal voice, what it's telling you is giving yourself attention, having attention. Thoroughly listen to that still small voice in terms of what it's telling you. These are all steps of practicing gratitude. Some people think, again, and I might have said this earlier, that you think gratitude is just going around, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you don't have to be stressed or strained in looking for things to be grateful for because they're all around you. And here on this broadcast, we will continue to give you different aspects and tools for practicing gratitude. Here we talked about the 4 A's. Earlier, I talked about having a little book, notebook, or pad where when things come to you spontaneously, you can write them down that you are grateful for. You can, when you're feeling stressed or just you can't get a thought through, take out a sheet of paper and start writing all the things that you're grateful for. Taking your time and just listing them out. And another practice that is very well known, everybody is pushing it, everybody is doing it, and that's gratitude journaling. And again, we have a very nice tool getting started with gratitude journaling. And if you want that tool, go to CoreySCotton.com, CoreySCotton.com. Well, until the next time, continue to practice gratitude in every way that comes to you because the more you give thanks and the more you practice, the more enlightened you feel, the more energy you gain, and the more you help this universe because your energy, your love, your gratitude. So let's practice these 4 A's of gratitude: appreciation, approval, admiration, and attention. That's what you're giving yourself this week. Until next time, continue practicing gratitude.